Now then, folks, how you doing? It's James JT at the movies, and I'm back with you for day 25 of my 30-day movie challenge. I can't believe this is almost over. This month's flown by, doing this. I've absolutely adored doing this challenge, and it's been really great for me to just make sure I watch a film every day, because it's such a big part of my life is watching and enjoying and collecting movies. And of late, I found myself being so busy that I don't always get to sit down and watch a film, sometimes even in a week. So it's been amazing doing this, and sort of making sure that I have to plan in, just sitting down and relaxing and watching a film as part of the day. It's been brilliant. But anyway, enough of that, and on to today's category, which is a film that inspired me. Now, there was a few options that I could have picked with this, and I'll talk about one of them in particular later on in this video. But the one that I ended up going with, because I fancied something sort of fairly sort of light and easy going, but is a film that inspired me in my youth. And I went with The Rocker from 2008, starring Rainn Wilson, Teddy Geiger, Emma Stone, Josh Gad, Christina Applegate, and a whole host of other folks in there as well. But yeah, this was a film that inspired me. It came out, let's say, in 2008, and I was 16 then, and an aspiring young musician as opposed to an aspiring old one now. But I in 2008 started what I consider to be my first proper band, a band called Fretbuzz, with a lad called Sam, who I'm still really good mates with today, and a lad called Ross. And it was ultimately the band that my best mate Phil ended up joining a couple of years later, and that's how me and him met. And so, that journey was something that was really, really important to me. But I remember seeing this film, and, obviously when it had come out, when we were in that early stages of sort of trying to find our sound and writing songs and playing the covers down the local pub and stuff like that. And I remember it really sort of spurring me on and making me sort of like want to push for, do you know what, we can, we can do this, we can be the next whoever. And of course we never were. And if I'm totally honest, we had a few near misses, which is a nice sort of thing to look back on, and I've got some nice stories to tell from that time. And and it's led me on the journey to where I am now musically, doing the harmonising and the acoustic sort of folk bit with Leaving Overmorrow, which I'm absolutely loving. So I wouldn't change any of it for the world. But it definitely inspired me at the time to do to sort of push and keep going with the music stuff, and just like I say, I found the subject matter to be inspiring because of it's what I wanted to do, and it is what I want to do. I love my singing, love my playing guitar, and love being a musician. And I always love coming back to this film and revisiting it. It's just so easy to watch. The basic plot, for anybody that might not have seen it, is that Rainn Wilson plays Fish, who's a drummer in the band Vesuvius, which are essentially like an 80s hair metal band that are on the cusp of being signed back in the 80s. They get signed, but the catch is that they have to let the drummer go so that the studio manager's son can take over as the drummer. And so they do that, and he's heartbroken and spends the next 20 odd years sort of basically not moving on with his life and just bouncing from dead-end job to dead-end job, and just building a loathing and a hatred for Vesuvius and the success that they've had. He ends up, sort of through circumstances, moving back in with his sister and her family, and the nephew, his sister's kid, is a keyboard player in a band that's recently lost the drummer. And of course you can put two and two together and realise that they end up playing together, and then ultimately it sort of boils down to them having to do a concert with Vesuvius, and it's the big sort of like reunion and sort of showdown at the end. And it's all just very much sort of by the numbers, sort of in terms of the plot. You can see where it's all going a mile off, and it doesn't try to do anything too clever, but it's still incredibly enjoyable. The music's really catchy in it as well. They've written some original music for it that the band play, and you sort of bop along to it while they're playing, and it's great fun. It's just great fun. And like I say, for 16-year-old me, seeing that back in 2008, it was just what I needed to see to sort of light a fire under me, sort of musically. And it's like I say, a film I come back to fairly regularly. The other film that I toyed with watching for this, and I want to mention why, was actually a DVD of a concert that I remember watching on the TV in the very late 90s when I would have been 7 or 8. And it was Bee Gees, One Night Only. And you're probably thinking that's potentially a sort of a choice out of left field for you, James, isn't it? But the Bee Gees were what inspired me to pick up the guitar and learn to play. I've always considered myself a singer first and foremost, and then a guitarist second. And I wanted to learn to play the guitar so that I could accompany myself singing. And the sound that the three chaps in the Bee Gees made when they sang around one microphone and performed an acoustic version of Heartbreaker was the penny dropping, if you like, the moment where I was like, I am going to learn to play the guitar so that I can learn to do that. And you know, I've never really been a lead guitar player or anything like that. I'm not really one for doing the showing off on the guitar. I am a rhythm man through and through, and it does stem from, like I say, seeing those three blokes sing that song in vocal harmony. You could also probably argue that's where my love for vocal harmonies came from, because I just heard that sound and it was just like, that's what I want to do. That's that's where I need to be. And even today in the Leaving Overmorrow set, we sing To Love Somebody by the Bee Gees, and it's one of my favourite ones that we do. So I toyed with watching that, but after, funnily enough, spending the day in the recording studio today with Leaving Overmorrow, working on our second album, I didn't sort of feel up to watching a concert, and thought, well, I'll watch a film. And so sort of thinking about my other choices, and didn't want anything too sort of heavy hitting, and then came across the Rocker and was like, yeah, that's the perfect choice to round out a productive but busy day. So that's been my film that inspired me today, and a little bit of a vlog, I suppose, about my musical backstory for anybody that might have been interested. You'd have to let me know down below in the comments what film would inspire you. What would you be picking for this Day 25 challenge? And let me know your thoughts on the Rocker as well if you've seen it. Of course, drop the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel at this point, please think about doing so. It would help the channel to grow, and it means I can also keep you around for future videos and get to know you better, which I genuinely enjoy doing through the comments and the engagement and stuff. So please think about doing that, and I will see you tomorrow for Day 26's film. Take care, and have a good night. See ya. Bye.